Hello there. Hi,
Hello,
Carmen.
Irene. Welcome to Art Stream.
Woo! Thank you so much for coming in. Whether you're doing some late night hacking or just need a quick break from all the coding or designing you've been doing, we're happy to have you here join us for our art stream.
Yes, so with our art stream, we're just gonna chill. We'll definitely take suggestions, as well as we'll just kind of chat about anime, and other interests that we have. So don't worry, this can be a zone where you don't have to think about share. You don't have to think about coding at all. And
Exactly.
now We're gonna let Irene share her screen.
Yes. And just while we're doing that, we'll do some quick introductions. So, hi everyone, my name is Irene, and I'm one of the designers for NW Plus, and I'll actually be right back to connect the screen. So, I'll pass it over to you, Carmen.
Yes. Hello. I'm Carmen. My pronouns are she, her. I'm a Command F logistics coordinator. So as you can see here, I am part of the team that helped ran this thing. And if you have any feedback, that would be incredible. As well as just knowing like how are you enjoying it? How are things? How's your projects happening? And what have you been up to? Mm-hmm. So my design background, I did do a design bootcamp. I did that from July to September last year, and that focused more on UX and UI design. If anyone has any questions, we can definitely do an improv Q&A. Model design is really cool. It's really nice because like I am terrible at drawing, so that's why we have the lovely Irene here. So I don't need to worry too much about it, but I plan to use some paper. These they're like I did get like a YouTuber vibe. I did get some like water stains because of the ink, but you know what? It'll be fine. It'll be good.
Yes, and never say that you're a bad artist. All art is important, and I'd love to have your energy here. That's what's important for late night vibes.
That's true. That's true. That's true. You heard it here. You heard it here, folks. All art is good. Hmm.
Yes. So today I'll be drawing on Clip Studio Paint, which is just a digital software for raster illustrations. And we've got a couple of prompts to get us going. And they're going to be anime prompts too, so hopefully you'll see your favorite characters being doodled. And
Yeah.
feel free to drop any requests too in the Twitch chat. Hopefully we'll see them and we can like add them to our freestyling section at the very end. But first
Exactly.
off, yes, but first off, we have a very cute character from Haikyuu. This was at the request of Carmen. I'm sure she knows who I'm talking about.
Hello. I
So,
have exposed my anime 2D Mentes for all the viewers at home. So so I'll talk a little bit more about this character while Irene can get started. She can pull up a reference photo so everyone knows who I am embarrassingly. It's not that embarrassing. He's just a wholesome person that he's a more like a wholesome character that has like really no screen time, but it was cool. In Haikyuu, he plays the Karsuno, and they play in some tournament. You know, volleyball, they're all the same tournaments. And what he does that I found really fascinating and really cool was that he does like a ceiling shot. So what a ceiling shot is that I do not play volleyball, so forgive me for completely butchering the terms. But you like essentially shoot when you serve a volleyball, you try to aim it as close to the ceiling as possible, and this is like a tactic for your enemies, not your enemies, your opponents, where it can be really hard with the blinding lights, and it's more likely that they'll miss a serve because it's on the ceiling. It's really hard to figure out and see where the ball is landing. Unfortunately, this is a minor spoiler, but Karsuno did win. I was like a little bit sad for him, but you know, you live and you learn. He's not in his third year, so he wasn't graduating anyways. So like, you know what? He still got some years in him. And while like the avid sports fans at home are probably like, wow, like just because you have 1 more year or 2 more years doesn't mean that they don't want to try. And that's something that I got from the other sports manga that I was reading, which was it was Blue Box. It's like a new one. It's really cute. It was the scene where the protagonist and his crush is like, oh, like don't worry if you like don't win the badminton tournament because you still have another year. And then the protagonist got pretty mad at him because it was kind of saying like it's okay if you don't win or you don't put all your effort in. So this is really a good lesson to keep, like try your hardest. Even with this hackathon, like winning isn't always a goal, so it's totally fine if like you end up needing to go to sleep because that's pretty important. Like definitely sleep is important and we want
Absolutely.
you to stay well rested. It is a 24-hour hackathon, so a little bit of endurance, but ultimately, like we want you to enjoy. And yeah, this is fun. I'm like just get to have an artist draw favorite people, and this is nice. So
Yes, I love your passion for hiking. I know for a lot of people, it means a lot because of the story and the plot. I know at surface level, it just seems like a volleyball anime, but it's really resonated with a lot of you, including you, Carmen, and myself. Even if you don't play volleyball, but just some of the struggles of the students in there and the experiences they have, it really resonates with you as another student.
yes, we usually do have another person helping with doodles, Alex. She's on the design team. She's very, very cool, and she also is a Haikyuu fan. So it's really great to see. I also have
Oh God,
gracious. It's just like
sorry.
creepy on the eyes.
The
It's like
pupils for a
will
second
he
is kind
have
of cursed.
people? Yeah, this is nice. I gotta go search on my favorite characters. For me, I personally like reading manga. I find that it's faster. I know the animation for Demon Slayer is truly chef's kiss. Also, Jujutsu Kaisen. But like, yeah, I guess like for me, it's just easier to read manga on the bus, on the commute. Oh my gosh, she's finished the line art. Ooh, artist terms. We don't know where. Yeah, so he's just vibing. I'm frantically looking at my anime list. I'm trying to get characters that even Irene knows because this is a team effort. Even I'm the emotional support.
Yes,
Gotta have
yes.
someone in your life like that.
So, yeah, to give a bit of context, what I was doing earlier was just kind of setting down a kind of a rough outline for the proportions. And actually, I'm not too sure the style that we're going with here. I'm just kind of going off of a reference right now. But also, this character is a bit of a minor background character. So if you're like, haven't paid too much attention to some of the matches, you might easily miss him. But I think like every single character from each team plays a very important role. And Carmen, do you want to tell us why this character is your favorite and kind of give us an introduction?
Oh, I guess he's like my favorite just because he seems like very earnest. Like, he's just like wholesome cinnamon bun energy. We also got sponsored by Coffee for Grounds cinnamon buns. They were delicious. There's so many. I ate
Literal cinnamon bun.
exactly. He's just a little cinnamon bun, and you know, he's just cute. So that's the main criteria when you're deciding on who you like. I'm gonna get Irene to send me this photo later. So yeah, I'm also interested in a lot of Korean webtoons because they're just they're just so good. Like it's usually full color. The plot is really interesting. I'm like kind of a sucker for the villainous reincarnation kind of trope. It's like the isekai, which is like, AKA you
Classic.
get transported into another world, whether that's by accident, like, or intentionally. But back to you, Irene, in terms of feel free to multitask on what are your other favorite animes, mangas, because I want to find like another common character. I'm also interested. I keep saying it's like on Karsuno's team.
Mm.
I do think of Suga, like the BTS character, but it's Suga War. As you can
Sugimura,
tell,
yeah.
yeah, my anime Japanese skills ain't it, but that's totally fine.
That's okay. Um, just in terms of kind of like my favorite shows and stuff.
Yes.
Oh,
Or you could also talk about what your favorite haiku, like I can't unfortunately help you with the drawing, so feel free to let me, if you prefer, if I just continue talking and you are able to
no.
focus.
I love hearing about some of your favorite tropes and stuff. And I was actually curious about what you use to read your manga and stuff, because I know it's hard to find the official sponsored version where like the artists and like the actual manga authors are supported. So like, what sites, illegal or illegal, do you use?
We're pirates here. Twitch, please don't demonetize me. So I'll simply I just like using manga decks. It has no ads. It's really nice. Yeah, it's nice. I like being able to kind of see the new features, and for me, it just recently kind of got a new update, so it's great to kind of see like how it's changing and just like the little things. I'm like trying to find like if I believe Irene has read Spy X Family, like classic,
Ooh.
and I'm like let me find one of my
I've
and
heard of Spy X Family. It's like one of the ones that are always featured on Shonen Jump, which is the app that I use to read
I
manga.
used to.
Yeah. Also, I just want to plug Shonen Jump really quick. Not like I'm being sponsored or anything, but it's just a really great app for being able to access all of your official manga in a way that supports the manga artist. And the scans are very clear. The translations are accurate. Not only that, but it's like $1.99 a month, I believe. So it's pretty worth it, honestly, if you want to just like keep up to date on your favorite series, but also support the artists. So highly recommend Shonen Jump.
Yes, that's also great because you can read the first chapters and the latest chapters, so you're not pressured to pay for anything. But if you do like reading the whole series, then that's something. I really like Gekken Shoujo Nozeki-kun monthly Shoujo Nozeki. Yeah, that's also a really great series. I found out that one of the characters like in the anime was he's like my favorite voice actor just because he played one of the voice actors that I liked in a childhood anime. That's where I was going with this. So
Gotcha.
yeah, I'm gonna put titles in our private chat and see if Irene knows it before I start butchering the Japanese.
No worries. Oh, but yeah.
He's so wholesome. Oh, yeah.
It's
I feel
so
like
easy. Oh, yeah, no. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna be like, I feel like it's like the characters and they just have like a lot of flowers around them. It's just the vibe.
Oh, yes, it's a classic look in a lot of the older, some of the older shows and like mangas for sure.
He's perfection. Let's see. Admittedly, I haven't actually I haven't been watching Demon Slayer season 2. I know it's good, but I guess I haven't had the chance to really like dive into it.
Yeah, no worries. Honestly, with all the school and assignments we have, sometimes it's difficult to stay up to date on your favorite shows. So I totally understand that.
Yes. I'm like there's mangas I like, but I'm also trying to find characters I like. So yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm like, oh, are you reading Blue Period?
Oh, I haven't. What's that about?
Oh, it's like art school. Like it's like a person pursuing art school after like finding his passion. It's really good. It talks a lot about like Picasso. I'm thinking of the TikTok, so yeah, it's like Picasso and just kind of seeing like it's a really good like coming of age film. It's like the current arc is yeah, so it's like it's following his experience and it's just really great.
That's adorable. I love coming of age stories because they really resonate with you sometimes. But yeah, and also just a quick note, I'll be doing like a really rough coloring so we can get through all of our favorite characters.
It's okay.
But yes,
even if he's not colored, he's still amazing.
I'm glad. But yeah, it kind of reminds me of if you've seen the Jujutsu Kaisen ending, you know that art style.
Oh my gosh, yes!
I
Actually, we should
love
do
it.
that style. Yeah, I really love the fashion. I really like the for Jujutsu Kaisen. It was like the short where Megumi
Oh yeah,
Kun
yeah,
was getting like he was being well, like a woman just wanted directions from him, but like
yeah.
Jojo and names I won't butcher, but you know, because they're like classic trio.
Yes,
That's funny. Yeah, that was actually pretty nice.
it was. It was.
Hmm.
It's got some pretty wholesome moments. Ooh, the skin tone's slightly off, but that's okay.
That's
It's
okay. We've established that he's still wholesome as heck.
Yes,
Yeah. Oh, have you read Ice Guy and the Cool Female Colleague?
I haven't. Want to tell me
Oh,
what that's about?
yes. So it's just like office setting. I find that it's nice because you don't really get like silly high school drama. It's
That's
just more
true.
talking about like this. The ice guy is a descendant of a fairy tale, so he like literally produces ice like when he gets nervous and stuff, and
Dang.
he is like he has a crush on a cool female colleague who doesn't seem to be very nervous around him, but like shenanigans happen and it's like very nice. Yeah, I feel like a lot of things I've read are like completed, so I'm like, where are they? Have you read Orange?
Oh, I haven't. I don't read a lot of mangas because like I like watching the animations instead, but it's always fun
Ooh.
to hear about them and some of the recommendations that people have.
Yes. What animes have you read
Ooh,
or watched? Watch is the right description.
no worries. The main ones I've read are all on Shonen Jump. So it's Demon
Um,
Slayer, Promised
mhm,
Neverland, Jujutsu Kaisen, and some other ones. Yes.
mhm. Yeah. The Promised Neverland. Unfortunate, but like for Demon Slayer, we got the cute. Um, I'll try to keep it spoiler free. Because I know not everyone has watched it. Unfortunately, you definitely should. But I know it makes sense if you wanna. Um, he's perfect. Like you wanna like wait for the anime rather than reading the manga to finish. Oh, this is
That's
so
fair.
nice. This is
Yes. So this
this
character
commission.
is Aoi Mikawa. Again, apologies if I'm butchering the
Mhm.
name. I forget what team he is from, but I believe he is from season 4 of Haikyuu. Minor background
Yeah.
character, but he is the one who does the really epic underserve, right?
Yes. I think it's called a ceiling shot. Fun fact, I like well, I didn't like I was always like bad at volleyball, so I'm like but Haikyuu like definitely inspired me to do volleyball, but then I realized my arms would hurt a lot, so I'm like, maybe not. Maybe not.
No worries. Always fun to watch.
Yes.
Yes. All right, so that's our
Mhm.
first character down. Let's move on to the next one. So this next
Mhm.
one is going to be from Demon Slayer, and I believe Carmen here requested our favorite serpent Hashira. He actually showed up
Yeah.
very recently in the final episode of season 2,
Mhm.
and I'm excited to see more of him. I can't say
Yeah.
too much without spoiling it, but he is a very cool character.
I'm also like um the person that has the boar head. I definitely like his appearance when he doesn't wear it. That's also like very cool. I was like, I did not expect that. And apparently like the swordsman, like the masks really hide a lot of things. So I was very shocked when I read like when I saw the appearance underneath. Basically, they were just better looking than I expected. So mhm.
Yes. And one really interesting thing I really love about the Demon Slayer art is like just the line weight. Because
Oh.
right? Because you know how like some lines are really thin and others are really thick, and it gives like a lot of like dynamic movement and really cool
Mhm.
visuals to some of the fight scenes and just the characters themselves.
Mhm. Have you ever watched Into the Spider-Verse?
I have. I love that movie.
Okay, yeah, because that's what I was thinking about with like the animation style. Um, I feel like yeah, Yeah, I'm excited for the second one. I'm excited for the oh, we're just getting. It kind of looks like a monkey tail. It's kind of nice. Admittedly, I don't actually like Sphinx that much, but I was like, his character, incredible. The arc,
Yes,
incredible. I'll just double
absolutely.
check our Twitch to see if we have any requests.
Oh, yes, that'd be amazing. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
I know that when we did it for NW Hacks, people wanted some JoJo, which is very cool. I haven't personally watched it yet, but yes.
I've heard a lot about JoJo. The thing is, I've seen posts ever in all memes, but for everything that I've seen, I still have no idea what it's actually about. Apparently, that's just part of like the appeal. That like it's very bizarre and weird. So like, yeah,
I think it's literally called JoJo's Bizarre Adventures.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. What other? Let me look at the Shonen Jump. Are you reading the manga about the Spy Family?
I'm not actually. I am reading Sakamoto Days though.
Oh, me too.
It's adorable, isn't it? For those who don't know, Sakamoto Days, think of One Punch Man, but it's like assassins instead. And like the main dude is just like Saitama, except he's like old, retired. Not old, sorry. He has a family, and he's like just seems super chill on the outside, but once he gets serious, it's over for the other person. Although the thing with Sakamoto Days is that he isn't nearly as overpowered as Saitama, so it's interesting to see how his character faces certain fights. But yes. Okay, and this has been an interesting topic of discussion that I've seen in a lot of Demon Slayer fan groups and posts. But how would you rate the strength of the different Hashiras?
Oh,
and this can be on any characteristic. It's up to you. But I want to hear your personal opinion on like how strong they are or how strong you think they are in order.
Admittedly, I don't really remember.
No worries. You can talk about just your favorite ones then.
I don't remember, so that it is what it is. Have you read or watched Nisekoi? It's like a false love.
I've heard a lot of people recommending that to me for sure.
It's just like a fluffy where you like figure out who's best girl, and it's like interesting to see. Hopefully you have. Hopefully you have watched Assassin's Classroom.
I've also heard a lot about that. See, I have a lot of shows to catch up on, honestly.
Totally fine.
Yeah.
I think the ones that you are watching are like really great, like Demon Slayer. Also with Haikyuu. I'm like also trying to think of more characters from Haikyuu because I feel like the universe is really nice. Do you like the ending, like what it does with the ending?
Oh, the Haikyuu ending?
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people already know. They already know. Like they like the ending isn't like explicit, but I was like I'm just gonna say it. It's like the time skip. I'm like the time skip is really nice. Sorry for people who didn't know. I did say I wanted to be spoiler free, but I guess it's not hard not to say it because we're just discussing it. Yeah, but it's really cool to see. I also really like Karasuno's captain after Daichi. I won't butcher his name.
Yes.
But like he was also really great. Yeah. Good energy, good vibes.
Absolutely. Honestly, if you're a fan of Haikyuu and you haven't read the manga yet, I highly recommend you go read it. Because Carmen, I'm sure as you know, I think the author does a really good job of tying together all the character stories and giving it a really satisfying ending. I know some people aren't a huge fan of the time skip, but personally, I thought it worked really well for the story.
I thought it was like as much as I would have wanted like to have every year, like I know it's not really like manageable, so I think it was nice to kind of see like the end goal, especially becoming a professional athlete. Like it was cool to see where all like the big players went and kind of like how their like power dynamic has changed. It's like truly so interesting. Yeah.
It really is. It really is. Yeah. Oh, and for those of you who have not read Haikyuu, it is also on Shonen Jump. Just gonna put that out there. So another reason to go get it.
Yes. What is your favorite character in Haikyuu, Irene?
I'm personally a very big fan of Oikawa, just because I
Oh.
really relate to his struggles. You know how there's always going to be like um, those people that seem like just natural seem to have like a natural talent for what they do, right? Like it's just something that they have we're naturally born with, right? And no matter
Yeah.
how hard you try, it seems impossible to really like surpass them or like get up to their level. That's the kind of struggle that Oikawa as a character deals with, so I really relate to that. And how he overcomes that struggle is just through a lot of hard work, like grit,
Yeah.
and I really respect that.
We can
So
draw that after this.
yes,
Yeah.
so yeah,
That's
I really
no,
respect
I
it.
completely agree. I think it's like really nice because like you can see more than his personality. Like you can really see kind of like where like like he got to the place that he did because of the hard work. And yeah, like his character arc is also really interesting. I really like seeing, I think, his little nephew, just giving him more depth with children and seeing like, like how much volleyball means to them. It's like yeah, I feel like sports manga really hits different with like it's like the up and it's like the ups and downs of American football. Like it's like from Riverdale. It was like some dumb quote. Like yeah, I'm gonna say it right here. I think the show was a little dumb. I didn't watch the later seasons. I think I ended off at season 2, and I was like, damn, this is this is this is whack. Yeah. Yes. So
I've heard about that show a bit. I know it started off strong, but kind of tapered off a bit towards the end. So I'm not sure. Would you still recommend watching it, if only for the first season, maybe?
maybe not. I mean, I was a really big fan of the Archie comics. There's actually a better like webtoon, I feel like. I wouldn't have minded if they just not taken the characters and just created a new show, not with the names, because it was like a very wholesome. Well, like the Archie comics, I think were like for teenagers, and they just like tried to make it like more edgy, and I just felt like it was kind of unnecessary, and the plots and the character arcs didn't really make sense for who the characters were. But like, granted, like the material was like, oh, it's gonna be like more edgy and stuff, so maybe that was why it's a snake.
Mm.
Yeah. Also with Jujutsu Kaisen, are you caught up?
I
Ooh.
am caught up,
Oh
yes.
yeah, me too.
Oh god.
I'll just go through the beginning, I guess. Yeah, I felt like the blood guy was kind of cool. Oh, I really like Jujutsu Zero is coming in theaters. I think in
Yes, I believe it was already released in Japan and it's been out for a while, but we're just still waiting on the English translation of the official English version to be released. And
yeah,
Gojo fans out there, man, JJK0 is your movie.
yeah. I'm a little bit scared of Rika, not gonna lie. So, but I feel like it's gonna be yeah, we got another Gojo fan. I mean, like as stereotypical as it is, like his character design is truly chef's kiss. I should have just like this is a spoiler discussion. Sorry, y'all. I should have put a disclaimer at the beginning. But
Yes, bit of a spoiler alert for sure.
yeah, but like purple was so cool. I actually really like I should have known his name, but it's like the guy, it's like the cursed voice that
Oh,
he talks in onigiri ingredients.
Inumaki, yes.
Yeah, he's also really great. I think he also has the same wholesome energy.
Absolutely.
A
And
man of few
for
words.
yes, and for any Haikyuu fans out there, Inumaki is voiced by the same voice actor as Tsukishima. So it's kind of interesting seeing this
Oh,
very salty character in Haikyuu go to a very wholesome character in JJK. Uh,
interesting.
duality, you know?
Yeah, the duality of man, incredible. It's like a
Man,
blast.
the snake looking kind of derpy here.
It's
Apologies
okay.
in advance to this.
No, it's okay. The snake be gone. It's okay. Technically, it's kind of hard because the snake is such a like is his core identity. But I'm like not into snakes, so my personal thing is that we're leaving it. he's gonna be a blurry snake. Yeah.
Yes, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be a
Oh, he
happy
looks
kind
so
of
good. It's like
sock
the anime
snake.
style. Truly, it's great. Oh, maybe the next person we should draw is Gojo, just for the fans.
Yes, Gojo
Yeah.
is definitely on the list.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be hard to draw his eyes, or maybe you could just draw him without the eyes and the bandana, and it's like done. It's like spiky hair, the bandana, and then you're good.
Oh, I'd say his eyes are the highlight. It's a
Yeah,
challenge, but it's always worth it.
that's true. That's true. His eyes truly are great.
Yes. But kind of going back quickly to Spider-Verse, I really love that because of some of the storytelling they did through the animation.
Ooh.
There are lots of YouTube videos on how they did certain scenes and why they chose to use certain effects for those scenes, and it actually contributes something to the story too. And it's just such an amazing movie that really changed the way a lot of people saw how animation could be used. Sorry, I'm just super nerdy about animation in general.
I'm too. Yeah, I remember like in animation, in like for some scenes they would do like 24 frames per second, which would make it like all smooth. But then like some other scenes does 12 frames per second to make it like intentionally choppy. And you can see like the line art or like the text boxes, like the pop art, and you can see spoilers, ha 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 ha. Kind of like Miles, kind of like his artwork, and it's like nice to see like how each character, each Spider-Man is just like created, how much depth they have. It was really cool to see Aunt May, and it's just like I haven't seen the one, unfortunately. No Way Home. I'm like, I'll just wait for like how many more months that will be on Disney Plus, so I don't have
worries.
To go. But like, yeah,
no worries at all.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, man, Marvel has really grown so much since the first Iron Man movie. I think like especially people our age, like we grew up with Marvel.
Yeah.
We were the ones who saw Iron Man first in 2008 in theaters as kids, and then we watched all those movies through the years and how they went from like different phases. Like now we're in phase 4 of Marvel, and they're just the universe is so expansive and the characters are just absolutely amazing.
Yeah, no, I was kind of thinking like, is this our Star Wars? Kind of like having the trilogy, or like our Harry Potter, kind of seeing like, yeah, I feel like Marvel is interesting. I don't know, like personally, like how excited I am for the new characters, because it's like Captain Marvel, Spider-Man.
Oh yes, yes.
I don't know. I'm like, who else is there? Oh no. I watch your movies in theaters. Oh, Doctor Strange, maybe.
Yes. The thing about the new Marvel phase is I think you definitely have to have seen like a lot of the Marvel TV shows to understand like a lot of the new phase 4. And at first I wasn't convinced because I was like, do I really want to be paying like $14 for Disney Plus just to see these extra shows and characters?
Yeah.
I ended up caving in because everyone was just talking about how good WandaVision was. So I ended up making my sister fork over $14 to get a shared Disney Plus account.
Exactly. That's the way to do it. No, I totally understand. Yeah. WandaVision, it was really cool to kind of see like the TV progression from, I don't know, the 70s all the way to the 2010s. Like that artwork. Oh yeah, I guess the Scarlet Witch is part of Marvel Phase 2. I feel like that's where Meta got their idea. They're like, the Marvel universe is too good. We gotta figure that stuff out too.
Yes. And WandaVision 1210 would recommend. It's just an amazing TV show that deals with the themes of grief really well. Like, it's not something I thought Marvel could have done, but they went and did it. So it's really great to see them like branching out with these different stories instead of the typical superhero formula. Not to say that the other movies aren't good, but it's just they're doing something different and they're taking a lot of risks, which I appreciate. Now, have you seen any of the Marvel TV shows?
Yeah, I've seen WandaVision. I like watched all the Loki episodes except the last one, ironically. I watched like the first 2 episodes of Hawkeye. I did finish the Winter Soldier and the Falcon.
Ooh.
I
What
think
would you
that's
say was your favorite show out of all of them?
I would say like I feel like the Winter Soldier was interesting. I wasn't too into WandaVision's
Mm.
I guess like story just because I like I understood like an Endgame and Infinity War, like where
Huh.
her place was, but I found that like I was more like interested in like the duo of like the Falcon and Bucky and kind of like that that plot. Also, I really liked at the end how they addressed like one of the underlying issues
Mhm.
with this is gonna be a spoiler, but it's like kind of like racism and kind of being like trying to make amends for like past
Yes,
for the past. So I felt like that was really nice.
definitely, definitely.
All
And yeah,
right, Gojo
this
time.
yeah,
I think so.
Iguro is wrapped up, so now it's time for Gojo, uh,
Mhm.
which I know some people might be waiting for. But
Yes.
yeah, like you said, I really love the Falcon and the Winter Soldier too because I feel like in that show they did a really good job of showing that there was no like black and white good and bad guy.
Mm,
Everyone was just a victim of the system.
yeah.
Um, you know, like it hit really hard. That's all I can say, honestly. But great
Yes.
show, yes. If you're a Marvel fan and you're on the fence about whether or not to get Disney Plus, I would recommend you definitely get it because these shows I'd say are definitely worth watching.
Mhm. True. So, which iconic Gojo? I feel like he has a lot of poses.
He
Like
does.
you can get Gojo in Jujutsu Kaisen. I feel like it's funny that I can say Jujutsu Kaisen so well, but I can't even pronounce some of the like quote unquote easier names.
Yeah, no, it's okay. That's a mood.
So, is this Gojo in Jujutsu Kaisen Zero? What kind of vibe is it? Is it the one where I feel like the scene where he's like the violin lesson, really iconic.
Close, close. It is one where he's showing his
Oh,
eyes, so I'm gonna
okay,
see if you can guess it as we move forward.
okay. It's like the is it? I guess Scriblio is the biggest thing. I'm excited for hopefully like the sunglasses, um, kind of like the expression in his face where he's like he's like wow. He's like,
Yeah,
you homewrecker. That was pretty funny.
absolutely.
Mhm.
Um, but yes. And in fact, I heard the new Jujutsu Kaisen Zero movie. They actually gave him some extra scenes that were not in the manga. So Mappa really went and said, "Yeah, we love Gojo. Here are some extra scenes for all of you
Yeah,
fans."
I mean, I think Gojo, like the 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 artist and the author and the company should know how much people are sipping over him, including me, because I don't know, he's
Yes.
like it was a spoiler. It was like really cool to see when he was like born how the monsters got a lot stronger just because of like that incredible like power difference and just being like
Mm,
wow, like
absolutely.
he's so powerful. And it's also I feel like his concept is really interesting.
It
Uh,
is.
yeah, like he's like technically has infinite cursed energy
Mhm.
because he like plays with the infinity or something. I'm like, that's too technical for me. Do you have a favorite cursed technique?
Oh man, that's okay. I think my favorite curse technique would probably be Fushiguro Megumi's
Oh,
curse technique
okay.
just because I really love the animals that he can summon, especially the
Mhm.
two dogs. They are adorable.
It's really cool to see the evolution.
It
Yeah,
is. It
I
really
like trying
is.
to think.
Also, what's really interesting about Jujutsu Kaisen is just like the explanation behind how the curse technique works. Like, see, I've read the manga and I've watched the
Mhm.
anime, but if you ask me to explain how it works, I still wouldn't be able to tell you.
Yeah, I heard that it was like a really smart way, like your curse technique is stronger when you say it because it like kind of like makes it intentional where the person's like, oh, I'm gonna tell you my secret technique, I'm gonna tell you my plan. There's actually a purpose with it. Um, well, like another thing that popped up. This is major spoilers, but like the twins and them not being like the sisters, like them not being like acknowledged as one being, like in the I
Yeah.
was like that. I was like, damn. And it was like them being small and they look like dogs with the bowl cut and the water and like, oh, damn. Anyways, I'm like trying to buy more time on what favorite cursed. I don't know.
Absolutely.
I feel like a lot of them are very like obscure. Like I think it's
They
like
are.
the person that wears the leopard print, like the 3x7 technique. I feel like I
Mhm.
would have never considered like that as a like actual technique. Um,
Yeah, no, definitely. I think his name is Nanami. Are you talking about the
yeah,
guy who's always wearing a suit and has like the leopard
yeah.
print
Nanami,
tie?
RIP.
Yeah.
Mhm.
See, some of the powers and cursed energy users in Jujutsu
Mhm,
Kaisen
mhm.
are very interesting. It makes me think, how did the author like come up with these ideas for these powers? Because they're so abstract.
Yeah, I was also gonna mention like the emo kid that you like the protagonist couldn't save. I remember like seeing a are you okay if I like share like a Reddit theory?
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Well, like it's about his like his parents.
Mhm.
Yeah, so basically, okay, I will get to you, but because like the blood guy is like, oh, you're my brother, and I think it's like kind of heavily implied that like he's like his like mother was like the guy with the like
Yes.
hairs on his face, and like he was a person that made the brothers with the paintings, and like the in the anime, like the reason why like you see like the Monet scene is like that's his
Mhm.
like power. Like if the other dude wasn't in him, you know, like if he didn't eat his finger. Honestly, I was like so grossed out at the beginning of the first episode. I was like, there is a finger and you eat it, and I was like, damn. But like I feel like it's like not too gory, but kind of I was gonna say as scary as it is, like it's still really cool. Honestly, I'm like this Gojo is gonna haunt me in my dreams. It's just like the no people just like stares at you as you
He'll
no
look
matter
less
what.
derpy once we get a bit more long. Yeah, the thing about a lot of drawings is that like you gotta trust the process.
That's true.
like
That's
like
true.
at
That's true.
certain points, it's gonna look so derpy. You're gonna doubt that you're even on the right track. Like right now, I'm just like, this man's
It's
gonna
like
haunt my dreams.
yeah, he's just eyes. That's well, like technically that is what he is. He is all eyes. But yeah, the twins, yeah, like the Monet painting, and I was like, that's so sad because like they always they showed a lot of like what he could have been.
Mhm.
Like oh, like he would have just enrolled. Like his mom would be safe. I'm like,
Yeah.
terrible. hmm
Mhm.
Yeah, favorite curse. I don't know. I feel like none of them are like something I would do. Like, I'm not a big fan of like the girl's like weapons. Like maybe because she like literally drove nails into her hand, and I was like, not a
Ow.
vibe.
Yeah,
Or
it's gotta
like
hurt.
I like obviously like speaking, so I couldn't do the cursed voice. Weapons seem kind of interesting.
Mhm.
It was like the useless girl, like where she's like she makes a circle and it's like one strike like hit for sure. I thought that was kind of cool. But I feel like we don't really know that many people that oh, I guess like in the latest episode where the guy like he like stores receipts and he's like, "Oh,
Oh.
I just like a 2-day spa, like I'm completely recovered." Or like here's like a elephant. It was really interesting with his battle with Megumi because it was like kind of like some gravity. It was some like physics shit that I was like, oh, I'm not too sure about this, so I just kind of accepted it for what it is.
Yeah. Some of the fight scenes are very clever and require a lot of like tactical like thinking and stuff.
Yeah, it was also really cool to see his growth, like having an incomplete domain expansion. Kind
Mhm,
of like,
definitely.
oh,
Yeah, because you see him in the first season, his technique and how far he's progressed then compared to where he is at the current
Yeah.
point in the manga, you're just like, wow, he's gone so far.
It's true, yeah. They all go through like their own character arcs. Gojo's been sealed for too many days. I'm like, bro. I'm like the protagonist for Jujutsu Zero. Like, definitely, like his story's kind of crazy. Like,
Oh yeah, definitely.
Eureka, um, I thought it was really cool. Kind of like how he, well, like he killed the protagonist, but he was like, "Oh, I like immediately revived you, so you're all good," and kind of like how he has a really like nonchalant attitude, which was pretty cool. Which is funny because they're like, "Oh, we tried like discovering the black rope," and then he's like, "Gojo like destroyed all of it," and he's like, "Oh, we tried to find the other key," and he's like, "Oh, Gojo also destroyed it," so it was like, "Oh." Yeah, the man is just. I wonder what's happening while he's sealed. Like, I don't remember too much about like what it said when they're sealed, like, because I assume you can't die from it, or maybe like
Or at least
Gojo
not
can.
Gojo can't die, yeah.
Yeah, like maybe a normal person would, but like,
But we know Gojo, the man's overpowered.
yeah.
Wow, he still looks very
It's okay. I'm like, soon his eyes will be very twinkly, and then that's when you know. I need to find another character. Were there any like childhood books that you read? I really like the Percy Jackson series.
I am so glad you brought that up. Yo, Percy Jackson series was straight up my childhood.
Me too.
Like, that's how I learned Greek myths. It wasn't through grade 7
too.
social studies, it was through Percy Jackson.
It'd be nice if like, I feel like, do you have a fig? I haven't like caught up to the latest. Like, I read the Trials of Apollo, but I kind of stopped after that. I wasn't really into Apollo or the other girl, TBH. I was like, the main series, the main 7 is the best.
No, yeah. Main 7 is like my fave. I tried to read Trials of Apollo, and I did like it, but I think it's just because I was a bit older when the series came out, and I like uni in high school, you know.
Yeah.
So I never got around to properly reading it. But I have faith that Rick Riordan can continue to do a really good job. But what does make me excited is the fact that Rick Riordan actually just announced the
Disney Plus.
Yes, Disney Plus. I don't know if it's live action or if it's animated, but they're going to do a reboot of the Percy Jackson series. Yes, and I'm so happy about that.
I don't think it's a movie. Yes. Stamp. Password is creativity in the banner below. I'm gonna go back to Percy Jackson, but yeah, like I agree. I feel like I it's hard to gauge my favorite character. Admittedly, I'm like thinking of the second one with like with Leo and Jason and Piper and Hazel. I'm like, who are the original 7? And I'm like, were there only like 3 or 4 or 5 people?
Yes, okay, the original 7. Okay, let's start with like the Greek and the Roman camps, because I think that's the easiest way to remember. So in the first book we had the Greek camp. So that was Jason, Piper, Leo, like you said. Those are the 3 that go on the first mission in Lost Hero, I believe. And then the second book after that, then it switches to the Roman camp. So then we've got... That's when Percy shows up.
Yeah. Do you want to do the original, like the first, like the Last Olympian, like the lightning?
Oh my god. Absolutely.
Or is that...
If we have time, let's try it. Yes.
Yeah, I'm like trying to think of my character. I'm like, there wasn't that many characters, I guess. Because like with the more series, like the more characters got added, so
not me struggling on the hands for like 5 minutes.
No, it's okay. Hands are the worst. It's like simply gloves are the worst. He can wear mittens, just like one loop, and it's like
straight up like hands are the bane of every art.
Feel like he did not see for now. Yeah, creativity. The Percy Jackson. I feel like I really like Vera's art. Kind of like the new fan art. I was like incredible.
Oh yes. Oh, Varia, right?
Yeah.
She is literally every artist's dream. Like, she went from drawing fan art of the Percy Jackson series to becoming the official artist. That's literally a dream come
Yeah,
true for any fan artist. And the thing
I
is,
know.
her renditions of the characters are so accurate. Like, when you read it, I was like, oh, okay, this is what the character looks like in my head. Then you look at Vira's art, and it's exactly how you imagine them. It's
That's true.
uncanny. It's
Mhm.
uncanny how well she captures a likeness. Like, we don't talk about the official art, no. Vira's
Yeah,
art.
it was not the greatest.
Yeah. Yeah, we consider Vira's art to be the official art. She is the official artist now. Some of
I know. Yeah, I find that her art is amazing. I completely forgot about Frank. I was like, oh shoot, there is Frank. Whoops. Yeah, I really like that she also is able to do like other fan art. I'm like there was like a Mob Psycho like comic, and I'm like I didn't read Mob Psycho, but I heard it's good. I like tried reading it, but I wasn't like super into it. Oh, are you into My Hero Academia?
yes, yes, I am.
Oh, okay.
I'm
I
also
read
caught up. Oh, yeah, sorry, are you caught up?
no, I like stopped reading the manga after it was like it's like Hawk is like the spoilers. Hawk is like the double spy, but he like kills like number three, just like but they're basically like the villains are getting ready to like launch their attack, but it hasn't happened yet.
Yes, it's getting pretty intense. Um, but yeah, yeah, Percy Jackson series, man, childhood throwback. I'm so
Yeah.
excited that it's finally getting a television series, and this time with Rick Riordan on as a
Yeah,
creative
it's like
oversight.
that's true. I feel like it'd be nice like to actually get every scene animated because they really fucked up the movies.
They did.
Excuse my language, but
No, no
like
worries.
that was
Call it what
that
it
was
is.
not it.
No,
Yeah.
call it what it is.
I'm like, I need to find Vera's like Percy Jackson art. So
Yes.
I'm like, I need to search by that tag.
I remember my favorite artwork from Vira of that series was her artwork of Reina. Reina was the,
Oh
okay,
yeah.
excuse my pronunciation, the praetor? Praetor? I still don't know to
Yeah.
this day. Basically the leader of the Roman camp. One of the leaders, right? And she was like it wasn't a thing back in what 2010, I guess, but she was the girl boss, you know? Hello?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh yeah.
I like also got a little distracted.
No worries, no worries.
Yeah, she also makes like haiku art, which is really great.
Yes, she's in so many different fandoms, so I just like love following her.
It's really great to kind of see like the different ones.
Mhm.
Yeah, I should play Persona 5. I heard there's really good fan art for that.
I've heard about that too, yes.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Gojo, you know, you're looking a little more human. That's so exciting. I'm like, oh, I should just search Percy Jackson. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just like trying to individually find the art tag.
Yes. And for those who are interested in doing digital art, I highly recommend trying Clip Studio Paint. It's a one-time payment, so it's not like Adobe that sucks away your money.
Very nice.
But yeah, one-time payment, and I think might be a bit of a learning curve at first, but it's like a pretty good tool for just doing like raster illustrations. So things where like you're just like drawing with like brushes and stuff, as if you're like doing traditional art, but it's just like on a tablet or on the screen, right? Other alternatives include Procreate. So if you have an iPad, Procreate is a really good option. I know there are also some free software out there, but those are the main ones I've heard of. But yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I just realized his actual uniform has a bit more of a blue tint.
That is okay. Up to you. I know sometimes you're like, wait, this must be changed. But also like,
Okay, there we go. We'll use that.
Oh, nice. We figured it out.
Sometimes the paint bucket tool is like a lifesaver, but other times it just doesn't work. So it's
Yeah.
like a bit of a gamble every time. You're like, is the paint still gonna work and actually cover the areas I want it to, or is it gonna like just turn the entire canvas a weird color? You know, it's a bit of a gamble, but you just gotta cross your fingers and hope for the best.
I really like well, I'm looking at her art, Vera's art, and I'm like, oh, the coffee, not the coffee. Well, do you have any favorite AUs?
Oh my
Alternative
gosh.
universe.
I love the. She does some really cool Harry Potter AUs for the different fandoms she's in. And it's cool to like look at some of those and how she thinks certain characters would fit into different houses. Like I believe she
Yeah.
did a Hogwarts AU for the Haikyuu characters, and that was pretty adorable.
Oh yeah, I think I remember seeing it. I should definitely search more. Um, yeah, I'm like, I feel like the coffee shop AU is really cute, except like I guess for me it's like I'm like, oh, like I don't go to a coffee shop too much. I'm like, I don't want to spend money. So that's not a personal, but like, yeah, childhood friends, the lovers is always cute. Enemies to lovers,
Adorable.
not in real life though. I'm like, that's not great. But yeah, friends to lovers, or just like the friendship trope, like found family.
Mhm.
What's
She
other
makes
trope?
all of our dreams come true through her art. And
Yes.
that's why I love her so much.
Truly amazing.
Oh my, this man's still looking kind of cursed. That's okay.
That's okay. You know what? You know what? Now
Oh,
I think I like don't know how to fix eyes. Eyes are the hardest part.
sorry in advance, Gojo. Oh, you know what? You know what? I got a solution.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I don't know if this is actually gonna fix it, but let's hope for the best.
Okay. What's it? Oh,
Um,
texture? Ooh.
Textures, yes. So sometimes I get lazy, or like I actually just don't know how to actually draw something, so I just find like textures instead. Like boom.
Oh, that's exciting.
And this, although this just reveals which parts you need to color in, so let's go do that.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's pretty cool though.
But yes, textures is a good hack. If you don't know how to draw backgrounds, just pull up a texture and call it a day.
Fair enough.
There's so much artwork that I have that I didn't actually draw the background. I just pulled up a texture. It was just like, that works.
Yeah, it's actually like pretty cool to see your settings too. To be like, oh, like this is how you kind of like you make your own design system.
I guess so, yeah. And like every artist has a different way of like doing an art piece. Like this by no means is like the way you should go about doing your own art. Like maybe you like to lay down the color blocks first and then move on to doing the outlines, or maybe like you're the type of person that just goes for it. I respect that. That's really insane. But so, like I mostly like to lay down a rough outline, do the hard outlines, and then like color in, then do the shading. But yeah, that's Gojo. And I think that actually just about wraps up today's art stream. So we got through this cute boy over here, Aoi Mikawa from Haikyuu.
Yeah.
We did Iguro from Demon Slayer. Let's actually see if there's a texture for the background. Actually, no, I did not color him in. That's not a good idea. But yes.
Oh, what about the first one? Will he have a background?
Ooh. Actually,
Do you have
okay.
a sports one? Is there like volleyballs you can make?
There might just be actually. Clip Studio has some backgrounds that are like you might traditionally see in like webtoons, manga, and anime. So that's one thing I really love. For example, if I go into backgrounds and go artificial, boom. Oh, they have classroom backgrounds.
Wait, that's so cute. It's like the
Right?
the classroom AI. He's right out of practice.
Yes.
He's like,
though I do have to download them, so
we'll do a quick download and then it'll be the end of the stream.
Oh.
It's gone.
But yeah, I would put a background there if I could.
Poor man, no background. He's simply in space.
Yes.
Yeah, I do really like the color combination of his uniform. It does remind me a lot of the Jujutsu Kaisen closing. It's just so funky. It's like a funky new beat. You have the colors like out of his uniform. It's like very dynamic.
Yes, the color schemes are very nice, and I love how the team uniforms really help you differentiate each team. But
Yeah.
yeah, we'll just end off with a curse gojo. I hope you guys had a great time on this art stream. Thank you again, Carmen, for being an amazing stream partner. It's awesome to have your energy. Wouldn't have
I'm
been able
more
to
than
do
happy to
this.
it's like just get my 2D men drawn. I'm like, it was my own personal motive. So it's all good.
Yes, and thank you so much, everyone. Best of luck with hacking and the rest of the hackathon. Don't stay up too late, or if you do, stay hydrated, stay healthy.
Stay hydrated,
And
drink water.
yeah, have a good night, and thank you again for joining us.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
YouTuber